My name is David Dowler, D-A-V-I-D, D-A-U-E-R. My address is 9780 Highway 71, Hemingford, Nebraska. I live about 12 miles northeast of the FX Ranch, which is in the direction of water flow when the Sioux County irrigation wells draw down the Ogallala Aquifer. I also own property in Boyd, Texas, which is 22 miles northwest of downtown Fort Worth. It is in the Barnett Oil Shale region. I have a frack water well, disposal well within 2 miles of my house and numerous frack wells even closer. I paid extra money to have my water well drilled to the Trinity Aquifer. I had real good water until the fracking started up. Then all of a sudden, I started to get a white coating all over my dishes in my dishwasher, and the water was not fit to drink. I had to start buying drinking water, and I had the water tested, and he said it tested more like the Fluxing, which is an aquifer above the Trinity. So a well seal failed someplace between the aquifers. So well seals do fail. My contamination was minor compared to some of the others in the Fort Worth area. Water you could light on fire in the lab. If you go online and research, the oil industry will admit to 5% failures of well seals. An online documentary said 50% failed in 15 years and eventually all failed. The company doesn't want to carry liability insurance because it's too expensive. That should tell you something about the company. If they mess up our water or have a spill, they will just dissolve their LLC, and the men of the company will say they are not responsible. I think if the aquifer is messed up, the men behind the company should be held responsible. The only reason they want to dump frack water here is because they have messed up so much of our water in Colorado and Wyoming that those states have realized they need more stringent laws to protect their water. Otherwise, they would dump water close to where they're using it. I think disposal wells should be made just for disposal and with aquifer test wells all around it to test for contamination. I ask that you not approve this frack water disposal application. Nebraska has laws in place to better protect our water. I am spending the $900 to test our water now, so that I'll have legal recourse when the aquifer is contaminated. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr.
My name is Kim Engel, and I'm the Panhandle Public Health District Director. Panhandle Public Health District covers 11 counties of the Nebraska Panhandle, including Sioux County. We are directly concerned with protection and promotion of health, safety, and welfare of community residents and visitors to our jurisdiction. Our 25-member Board of Health, which is made up of 11 county commissioners, 11 community-spirited people, a doctor, a dentist, and a veterinarian, met on the 12th of March and unanimously voted to sign resolution number 2515-1 to urge the Nebraska Oil and Gas Commission to not approve the permit for the wastewater well in Sioux County, and that adequate time be allowed for necessary infrastructure and regulatory framework to be established to keep Nebraskans safe and our resources protected. It is our belief that communities need to be informed of the implications of all aspects of hydraulic fracturing, including the disposal of the wastewater. Causes for concern remain, such as well integrity failure leading to leakage, water and ground contamination, wastewater spills, air quality issues, socioeconomic and environmental justice issues, impacts on physical, mental, and emotional well-being, poor handling of wastewater and chemicals, and transportation issues leading to leaks, infrastructure strain, community nuisance issues such as noise, traffic, and property rights, and workplace and safety risks. On behalf of the Panhandle Public Health District, I urge you not to approve the permit for the wastewater well in Sioux County.
The board would now recognize Senator Harp.
Well, first of all, thank you very much for inviting me and allowing me to talk today. I would like to start by saying, I'm State Senator Ken Harp from District 21, which is northwest Lincoln and part of Lancaster County. And I do have a letter from Senator Stinner, which I left on your desk. And he asked if I would be allowed to read that into the record and then give my testimony. Is that up for you or? Okay, so I'm going to start with his letter, and of course Senator Stinner is from District 48, which is Scott's Bluff. Dear Commissioners, thank you for this opportunity to comment. This letter is to convey my position that the Commission should not take action on this application until all of the relevant factors have been taken under consideration. This well is located in an environmentally sensitive area in Nebraska. As a Commission, you have not been presented with a case that involved the great volume of produced water proposed to be injected into the subterranean in Nebraska, as will be done by this proposal. It's incumbent upon the Commission to perform due diligence that this application will not have a long-term adverse impact on the precious water supply in western Nebraska. This involves the safety of both underground water and surface water supplies now and in the future. I'm very concerned that the Commission has no means to fund the monitoring that will be required for the future to assure the safety of the groundwater. Moreover, how would any repair of future environmental damage be accomplished and any cleanup funded? The second major concern raised by this application is the truck traffic and damage to Nebraska's roadways and public safety issues raised by the proposed route through several cities in Nebraska, and these would be in Senator Stinner's district. It's estimated by the Nebraska Department of Roads it will require some $6.5 million to address the roads problem. The Commission should have clear authority to address these concerns as it addresses this application. Considering these issues, I will introduce a study resolution in the Nebraska legislature to consider the adequacy of the Oil and Gas Commission statutory authority in the area of the disposal of wastewater. The Natural Resource Committee and its staff will be given the authority to study, investigate, and make recommendations concerning the Oil and Gas Commission's authority and role in these critical decisions. I look forward to working with the Commission staff, and other parties. The product of this study will, if found necessary, be recommended for new statutory authority to regulate produced water disposal wells. This study will address what should be done to protect the environment, our surface and underground water supply, and public safety. Sincerely, John P. Stinner, State Senator, District 48. And I have copies for the press should they want those. So, my own testimony. Thank you.
Please give you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. When I took the oath of office, I swore to represent, of course, Legislative District 21, but also the interest of all the state of Nebraska. And just to be honest with you, when the Star-Herald and actually the Lincoln Journal-Star reported that only people within a half mile of the injection well with property interests would be allowed to testify, it created some real concern across the legislature. And so I figured I'd come here today. I am pleased that the public is being allowed to give testimony. So here are my concerns, I guess. When we look at what's going on here, and much of the water, wastewater will be coming in, the produced water will be coming in from Colorado. We've taken a look at Colorado standards, and I would ask, and I agree with Senator Stinner, we need to study this, and at least that we should match Colorado standards. For example, financial assurance requirements. Colorado has much more extensive financial assurance requirements, including a requirement of $1 million in liability insurance that will cover things like spills and roads. Public interest inputs. Colorado has extensive provisions for input from the public, including input from local governing bodies. The Commission has a single line in their rules about public input. And I'm not so much here to, this is not a criticism, it's just saying I think we need to go further. Standards for safety. Colorado has much more extensive rules on this subject. Standards to protect wildlife. Colorado has extensive rules in the area. In comparison, the commission has none. Again, not a criticism, but that we need to go and study this. Then there are 4 other areas where I think we need to be absolutely to have the gold standard to protect the interests of Nebraskans. Water is life. The first is to protect, provisions to protect the water. We have some of the best and most abundant water resources in the U.S. It's the lifeblood of our ag economy, and we have to make sure, absolutely sure, that our water is going to be protected. 2, we need to know the contents of the the substances being injected into the earth. And it's up to the states. California already has a full disclosure requirement. And if these substances that are injected are harmless, there should be no problem in disclosing. If they're toxic, we need to know so we can deal with any leak or spill. 3rd, provisions to take care of the needs of the communities, including paying for damage to roads and providing alternate routes away from schools and other facilities. And of course, as you know, Sioux and Scottsbluff counties have already presented letters opposing this, and there ought to be a provision for dealing with that. And I'm just about done. Thank you. And then finally, I think we have to be absolutely sure there's growing evidence about seismic activity. Oklahoma has been doing research of